Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is POPKHANYISA, and this is as real as I can be. Just a quick reintroduction of myself to you. I've been doing this channel on and off for a really long time now, and I've decided it is time to hunker down and do the damn fucking thing. And so the reason I called it Real Talk is because I am so bad at small conversations. If I'm talking about something, I want it to matter. And this channel, we're not limited to topic. We are talking all things real life. As a life coach, I love to dig into everything. I use mostly my personal experience to try and push down a point. So that's exactly what we are going to be doing today. We're talking about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. But this talk is not going to be about you and me. This talk is going to be about you and you, or me and me, because today we are talking about self-pleasure. That's why I brought you my Bush box. This is where Indy and I keep our toys. Everything we own is in here. It's a lot. What I love also, this is not a review for Bush anyway, but we buy most of our toys here, especially our self-pleasuring toys. Then we buy a couple toys somewhere else. So quick note for you, Bush, if you're watching this video, couple toys for the lesbians. Let's fucking do it. And also subscribe to my channel so we can talk more and have these real conversations. This is Bush, and this is a box. We had ordered 3 things at the same time, and they came in this beautiful more self-love. And this is why I wanted to talk about self-love today, specifically with the context of somebody who is like me, who grew up in the church and has had really toxic views about self-pleasure. I remember when I was a teenager in high school, and I'm still drinking my coffee, by the way. I was a teenager in high school, and I was really involved in the church. I share this a lot. I was really involved, and we once had a woman visiting our church as a preacher that day, and she went up, this curvy, gorgeous woman. I think she was from Zambia, and she held the mic and she said, "Spirit of masturbation!" And she really demonized self-pleasure and masturbating. I remember them calling up all the young people who touch themselves, who masturbate, and everyone was crying, and they were exercising the spirit of masturbation. And from that point onwards, a lot of us, myself included, had this very negative view of our bodies and the experience of our bodies, what it should be used for. Not only that, growing up in the church, you are taught that sex is only for reproduction. There is no messages about sex being pleasurable, sex being for connection, sex being for pleasure, especially for women. Sex for women was taught as something that you do to have babies. Am I wrong? At least that's something that I got from church. And so the journey really for me when it comes to sex and pleasure, and it is still a journey that I'm still on because I have not arrived, to be honest with you. It is to deconstruct what I have been taught about this female form body. The things that I can do with it, the experiences that I can have with it that are not defined from a patriarchal standpoint of have sex in order to have kids. It has been to have sex, be in pleasure with this body, with others, with myself, and for no any other reason but for pleasure. And so one of the work actually that I'm doing is with a friend of mine. Their name is Joshua, and we are working to create space for queer people of culture to have such conversations. And if you are interested, I will link our website on here, and you can go check us out. Check out our TikTok, check out our Instagram. We're still building, but this is all to say that we get to be in pleasure. when we are talking about sex, especially as women, it is always in the context of this thing that is done to us. It is done to us, not really with us. We are involved, especially in the heteronormative space. Now, imagine being me, growing up in the church, firstly having my sexuality demonized, then having my body as a woman being demonized, to then be like, oh, I'm actually a queer woman. Now, sex education, even in schools, does not speak to queer kids. So for a lot of us, we have to discover, not even rediscover, to discover sex and pleasure within the queer landscape, or within the queer lens, for ourselves with blinders on. And this is why we need to create spaces for that, for conversation, for learning, for growth, for practical work. Joshua and I are getting certified in somatic pleasure, how to incorporate pleasure in your life. So this is not going to be a big video, but it is really a video to encourage you to think about the ways in which you are with your body when it comes to sexual pleasure. I remember a time where I would watch porn and do my thing and then feel so incredibly guilty afterwards. And this was years after I'd left the church, but I was still processing or letting go of or unlearning, which is a really difficult process, the things that I was taught about my body. And when it comes to schooling, the things that I was not taught about my body, the ways in which I experience sex and sexual pleasure are so different from what is taught in school. And so, excuse me, y'all, I keep burping. If you watch my last video, I am burping. Just subscribe to my channel and let's pretend like that didn't happen. So I really want you to think about, how do I show up in my sexual power in this body and really unlearn the things that I was taught about it? Because you were taught a lot. Even as a child, you were consuming a lot. You were sponging a lot. Some of us have experienced SA. Yeah. Some of us were touched as kids. And so we have this really terrible relationship with our bodies because of those experiences. Now, this is something that I can go through a lot with and dig deep within, and I do that with my clients, so I'm not gonna take time to do this. If you feel like I wanna have this conversation, I had a client, I'll share this with you. I had a client who said to me, I ghost my body during sex to a point where I don't fully climax, I just leave. And it happens when I'm self-pleasuring as well. And that is because I've learned to not be in it when bad things were happening. And so I have detached from it to a point where even when I am in pleasure, I still leave. And so how do we reconnect with that? How do we reconnect with our bodies? Here's an exercise that I want you to do, especially if you are somebody who wants to experience pleasure within yourself, by yourself, with yourself, which I fully encourage. I encourage you to touch yourself. When you are taking a shower, we're quick to shower, get out of the shower, put our clothes on. I want you to really slow down that process. I want you to slow down that bathing process, especially that moisturizing process after. I remember when I was younger and my grandmother, it was just like, okay, go. I want you to slow it down to a point where it takes you not less than 2 minutes, 2, 3, even 5, where you really intentionally lotion the fuck out of your body. And you feel into it, your feet on the ground, you feel every movement of your hands as you lotion your body. And you really try to connect. I want you to do this for about a week, non-stop. Every time you're in the shower, I want you to stand sometimes even in front of the mirror and truly look at it. Look at the parts where you think, oh, God, I don't like this, or I critique this, or I wish this was better. And those are the parts that I want you to stay longer with and to really connect with and to be as content as you can be. It's going to be a learning process. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to wake up and be like, I love my big tummy today. No, you're going to love it today, tomorrow you're going to hate it, and you're going to keep going until you are so sure of yourself and that you truly fall in love with the process of loving yourself before you buy the toys. That's your homework. That's what I want you to do for this week. And if you want me to recommend some toys, I would love to. I've had friends who are like, I don't even know how to use them. I don't even know how to use a toy. And so I have a few ones here, and this is my Vush one. This is also a Vush one. This is, oh, my family doesn't see this video. This is one from, I can't remember where Indy bought this. We bought this at a store in Seattle. This is my strap. Yeah, this is, if you guys want to see, I'll actually show you. It's like opening a candy box. We have one coming, so I might do like a TikTok one for that one. But we have this one. This is good. This is a suctioning one. It's really, really good. I don't know if I'm gonna cut this part out. I don't know why I feel so nervous. Like, oh my God, Coach Kanye does the thing. I do. Vush actually sent me this one. Oh yeah, Vush sent me this one. I don't know if my code still works, but I'll link it on here, and you can use it and buy your toy from them. They sent me this one for clitoral work, for some external work, and this one is my favorite. This is their version of the wand. It's small, it's really, really, really good. It works amazing. And the thing with toys, don't be shy to look up how to use them. Go ahead, use them. You don't have to pretend that you know. And another advice that I would love to give you for self-pleasuring is don't self-pleasure to get off. I mean, you can in those days that you need to, when you have so much buildup and you just want to release. But self-pleasure, and really think of that word pleasure. Create the stage, set the room, light your candles, burn your incense, play your music, take your bath, really be with yourself. Instead of just laying there, 2 minutes, you're done. No. Bring it down and think about, how am I going to find pleasure in this experience by myself? If I was doing this with someone, how would I set the stage? How would I create the room? What would I eat? How would I behave? What wine would I drink? Really romance yourself when you're doing this, especially for you beginners out there. Really romance yourself. Also, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your pleasure is not fully dependent on your partner. I've had people talk about how my partner thinks self-pleasuring is cheating. No. If you're somebody who thinks that your partner self-pleasuring, they are cheating on you, we're gonna have to have a conversation, because for some reason you've bought into the idea that you are the source of their joy and you are the source of their happiness, and that includes their sexual pleasure. I love it when my partners self-pleasure. A, because they get to explore and experience their own bodies, and 2, they get to tell me what they like. I don't know why I'm saying they, like I have a lot of them, but when I've had, before, even with Indy now, I love it when she is like, you only can go on a walk, I'm just going to my thing, and she takes a bath or a shower and she's there with herself and she's exploring her body. That is not something that I own. One of the reasons we feel like we're being cheated on when our partners experience self-pleasure is because we think we own their bodies. Ergo, we also own their pleasure. We don't. I don't own her. I want her to have the fullest expression of who she is outside of this relationship and outside of me. So if you're somebody who's like, well, can I self-pleasure in a relationship? I think you should. I think you should self-pleasure in a relationship. I think it will add that little sauce, that little spice self-pleasure with your partner. I don't know what happens in your bedroom, and we can have more of these conversations. Let me know if this is something that you want to talk about. If you have more questions, let me know. I would love to talk to you. You can grab my email. I'll put it in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and share this video, especially if you know somebody who can use it. There are so many women who have not truly experienced sexual pleasure at the height of how they can experience it. You know, I love you. Have an amazing week. Mwah.